Welcome everyone to the Circuit Villeneuve in Montreal, Canada. It's time for the Canadian Grand Prix, race 416 in the ABN High Performance Championship. For those tuning in, I'm Cameron Hardy, alongside me Kevin Young. Kevin, it's been an interesting first three races. How are we feeling going into Montreal?
You could say that again. 3 different winners in 3 different weeks. And you could easily probably say going into tonight that a 4th driver could be a threat to join that party and crash the winners club when you look at Rob Collier and Emma Kruger and Pressy as well, all currently sitting in the top 5. Along with Jason Blaney, I know he won last week, so never mind. But yeah, Kruger and Presley looking good to possibly join the elite winners club at the very least. But this being first circuit that F1 is currently, the cars that they currently race with, this Mercedes W12 is actually gone to in real life for the first time here. So it's a bit of a, I would say not a homecoming, but a return to form of these cars actually going to a track they've been to in real life.
Absolutely. We saw how crazy the first 3 races have been. Phillip Island, Fuji, Indianapolis, tracks of old, or just fantasy tracks in Phillip Island's case. But yeah, a lot more data on Montreal compared to Indianapolis and Fuji. It'll be interesting to see how everything looks so far. Right now, it's Derek Miller at the top of the board. Nick Pressy back up to 2nd place ahead of Rob Collier. Then Eli Sasek and Jason Blaney. It's been interesting seeing the teams that have performed well these first few rounds compared to what we thought the favorites were going to be. You know, going into the season, we thought it was going to be Gear Cats and Prismatic and Twisted Racing. And it's been almost inverted as far as the teams that have been the most threatening so far this campaign. Why do you believe that is?
It feels like there should always be a clear-cut answer, because since these cars are basically equal, it comes down to setup time and figuring out how the setups work in these machineries and just finding the pure pace out of the machine. And when you look at Gear Cats, for instance, we use them as an example. Emma Kruger hasn't been no spring chicken, no slouch, I should say. As she's been a very fast driver, she's just had problems putting it together through the whole race. And you look at Prismatic, Christina Ryan's gotten 2 podiums out of 3 races. So, and even fueled up as well. They've been pretty strong and playing the strategies right, but excluding Indy, the first 2 rounds, they were kind of hit or miss. So I think it's just a situation where the drivers in question are getting used to the machines they're driving. And as time goes on, cream rises to the top. And I think as it goes on, these drivers will get more accustomed. But at the end of the day, it's just trying to minimize the mistakes and figure out what you need to do to get ahead in the series. And just like with any start of the season, the drivers that use the preseason testing to their advantage are probably going to go a little bit stronger than the drivers that didn't, but it should at least balance out as the season progresses.
7 teams on track at the moment. Next, Sim Racing, top of the board. 1st and 3rd for them. Nick Pressy in Motorsports, who just saw one of their cars come out of pit lane. That's Eli Sasek. They're sitting 2nd and 4th. Go to Motorsports. Jason Blaney in 5th. Nathan Lyon getting up to terms with this car. He's sitting 12th at the moment in place of Wesley Jeanette, who is out sick for the week after scoring that double podium, that 1-2 at Indianapolis just a week ago. Emma Kruger down in 6th, Robin Summers 7th, Lily Pelletier Sharp in 8th, James Pearson 9th, Christina Ryan 10th, and it's Sonny Crouch, who is just now on his 5th lap of practice, in 11th. Nathan Lyon, as we mentioned, 12th. Tom Sears yet to run a lap so far in practice with about half an hour left.
Yep, plenty of time. Remember, a lap around here is not that long of a lap. It's about a minute and to make sure my math's, a minute 10. So it's a little like all the tracks, most of the tracks we've been to so far this season have been very quick laps. So there's good time to use, like, the shorter the lap, the more time you got to put down more laps and figure out what you need for either race pace or qualifying pace. And then you also get 30 minutes of qualifying and then some warm-up. So it's a situation where plenty of time. If you came in cold, you're probably not going to be in the best spot. But if you got some warm up throughout the week, this is kind of plenty of time to really get in tune with the machine that you're driving. As we just see, I believe that's Wesley, not Wesley, that's James, Jason. Actually, that's that is. I'm drawing a blank on the name right now. But we'll now cut the fuel up here as we see him cross the line here, and they're just putting down competitive laps.
Yeah, this is Nathan Lyon, who is still getting up to speed in the W12. Jason Blaney is right behind him. There's Jason Blaney, I believe. That is Blaney behind. That is Robin Summer, the Prismatic Motorsports machine of Summer. As Blaney goes for a spin. And I have to go back to pit lane.
Yep.
Looking now at Rob Collier.
Rob Collier again getting in kind of in touch. He's actually going to take the escape road here, cannot hit the corner, and that's going to be a tricky corner because you want to go hard as you can to the corner, but if you take the line wrong, you're going to mount the car in the curbs or even cut the corner, or if you go too aggressive, you're going to hit the wall champions, and that could be race done for you. So you got to be careful with that corner because, like I said, go too deep, you're going to get wall champions. If you mount the curbs, you may give yourself floor damage or an off track that could start adding up quickly if you're not careful. So it's kind of a risk reward of how aggressive do you want to take that last corner.
Tom Sears jumping out for his first lap on the track here in Montreal on the hard compound tire. Only 2 cars on the hard compound tire, both of them Arrowhead racing machines. Everyone else, mediums or softs so far, at least of those on track. Again, half an hour left in practice, so people have time to figure out the strategies they want to go with, but time is becoming a bit more crucial for those just now getting on track for the first time.
It should be worth noting because we haven't gone over the standings yet. Jason Blaney is leading the point standings right now, and he is currently 3 points ahead of Eli Sasek, and 8 points ahead of Derek Miller, and 9 points ahead of Bren Roberts, and 13 ahead of Christine Ryan. That is currently your top 5. So a lot to play for here, as 7th on up are about a 1 race distance between Blaney and Carter, is about a 1 race distance at 23 points. So with still a long race calendar to go, it's not that big of a lead. No one's really ran away with the championship lead. And looking at the constructors, Fueled Up Motorsports currently leads the way, 19 points ahead of 1MA Racing, and 24 ahead of Nexus Sim Racing, and 25 ahead of Nicholas Presley E Motorsports. So, like I said, all the play for still in this championship. Let me turn this on real fast. It'd be helpful if I turn this on.
Yeah, but actually, we'll see if we can take a chance to actually like show the championship here. There you go.
There we go. Cool graphic.
That's what we were looking for here. Just trying to get all this set up. I was like, let's see if I can get this pulled up. So yeah, Jason Blaney, top of the board. That is not showing.
Only
the
downside
points.
is, yeah, it's not showing the numbers. It's correct the order, but it's not showing the gaps.
See, does it update here? There we go.
Yay! So
We're learning.
as I was, we're learning. Well, you're learning. I'm just kind of sitting here along for the ride. But looking at the points, Jason Blaney currently, like I said, 43 points. Eli Sasek at 40, Derek Miller at 35, Brian Roberts currently sitting at 34, and Christine Ryan rounding out your top 5 on 30 points. Further on down, we got Wesley Jeanette at 27, Emma Kruger at 20, Jacob Blankenship at 17, and a 2-way tie for 8th spot. Actually, 8th spot with Blankenship and Tom Sears both rocking 17 points, and Tommy Reynolds rocks out the top 10 with 12 points. Then you got Rob Collier with 11 points in 11th position, Olivia Hayward with 8 points, Robin Summer also with 8 points. So Prismatic Motorsports and Prismatic Phrygia, also basically a sister team, and the main team kind of tied on the same points. Nicholas Pressey at 5, tied with Tani Crouch for 14th position. And then you got Team Sideswipes, Jeremy Braille with 1 point, and Alyssa Pellier-Sharp, the only other driver to score a point so far this season, with 1 point, with James Pierce and Judith Cooper both entering races but not being able to score any points so far, as Pierce crashed out in his only start in Indianapolis, and Judith Cooper has just been bit by a bit of the bad luck bug.
Alrighty.
Meanwhile, Eli Sasek jumps to P2 as we were kind of going over the standings there. Just jumped his teammate, Nicholas Press, who's currently out mocked down the third position. But it's Derek Miller who leads the way with a 110.178 for his trouble in that number 56 machine. And being the driver that won at Fuji 2 weeks ago.
Yeah. So Sasek going back to pit lane. Rob Collier sitting fourth. Scored a total of 1 point at Indianapolis last week. Not what the team were hoping for, and it contributed to the team losing the lead in the team championship to Field Motorsports. Looking a lot more on the pace here this weekend in Montreal. But it should relatively just be a closer race in general, and right now it looks that way. You look at the overall gap there, 6 cars within a second. It's pretty close.
Mm-hmm. And it's worth noting, it's a mixture of different tires through those top 6 that set with, I think, Miller and Blaney are currently on a set of softs, while Sasek, Presley, Collier, and Kruger are all on a set of mediums. Now, I'm not 100% what tire they probably set that fastest lap on, but I'm going... That is correct?
Yeah.
Okay, that is accurate. Okay. So it's worth noting that, like we've seen the past couple weeks, even though the softer tire is usually the one that's going to get you the fastest qualifying result, the past couple weeks, it seems like more drivers have elected to try to run the medium or try an alternate strategy and go long in the race. And the past 3 weeks, we've also seen the winning driver pull a one-stop strategy in order to ensure victory. So it seems like another narrative we've seen so far this season is drivers trying the alternate strategies and also making the one-stop strategy work for their favor.
Collier just had the wall of champions there with the rear of the car.
And you know you're not supposed to do that because if you're not a champion, you can't hit the wall of champions.
Hard contact.
Yeah, that's a
Tom Sears was the other car involved with that.
Mm-hmm.
It's Tom Sears. He's going to Sasek.
Yeah, it's always a little bit of an ego burster when you end up spinning. It hurts your pride a little bit because you may be pushing so hard and it ends up looping it, and then you got to try to get back in the swing of confidence or try to figure out what you've done wrong in order to get back on the horse and try again. It's like I always use the analogy. It's like a pitcher that gets rocked in a game where you give up a big 4-run home run or a home run. You have to get yourself back psyched in because if you lose that mental advantage, you're going to be a sitting duck.
There's a chain of 4 cars here. Collier's in this chain, as is Emma Kruger, Robin Summer. It looks like Donnie Crouch as well. Oh, and Tom Sears also in this train. So a 6-car line going through Sector 2 here. Everyone trying to figure out who's getting what real estate.
Yep, some drivers pulled off there. I think 29 is a good example. Just try to give up space knowing that he was on a lap and he didn't want to impede, which is friendly kurtzmanship. And then you can see also, I think that was the 56 as well. Derek Miller also pull off there. Because it's good race practice, because during the race, you will fight traffic or have to deal with cars ahead and behind. So it's good practice. But at the same time, you don't want to end up, if you're trying to run a quality setup run, you don't want a car ahead of you to really practice, as Christian Ryan just jumps up the P6.
Go on board for a lap here with a Rob Collier. Riding across the line. Nathan Lyon just got himself within the 107% rule.
Yep. Which is good. Ooh, yes. Askett just had a purple swell. He's on track right now, so I think it actually was a purple Sector 1.
Yeah.
Just had to make sure it wasn't a previous lap that he's not currently on. But, yeah, I see Collier coming out. He's going to exit going into Sector 2. Well, Sector 2 is right before the hairpin. Just a little bit away from that. Donnie Crouch just went for a little spin ahead of him, but unrelated. Now he's at the end of Sector 2 here. And as we come up to this corner here, it's the braking hard into the hairpin, and then you got the long straight where that's going to be a majority of passes we're going to see here tonight are going to be coming down this long straight, especially with DRS opened, as you're going to use this as your main passing opportunity for this and the straight going into 1. as you're pretty much flat out. And you're going to want to break right around the 150 meter board here. Getting as hard as you can. And all right,
that
line
is as
there.
close as you can get to the Wall of Champions without tagging it.
I don't know if you could do that consistently through the race, but that was a good line there by Collier. But the lap wasn't fast. It was pretty much average to what he's currently been running, but he could go faster. And it's worth noting he's doing this on a set of hard tires.
Yeah. Yeah, you see the white wall on the tires. Yellow indicates medium. Red indicates softs. And in the pit lane. And there's Derek Miller. Shout out to Kruger, for Emma Kruger, resubscribing with Twitch Prime. Greatly appreciated. Thank you so much. Derek Miller, still top of the board. Eli Sasek, P2 as well. Presley Collier still where they are, as well as Jason Blaney, still top 5, although now in the medium tire. Christina Ryan on the soft compound tire, exiting pit lane. There she is. Bren Roberts says Ryan takes a loop around. And she's going to reset the pit lane quickly. So make that 8 teams now represented on the board so far.
Yeah, there are many competitive teams here in the Hyper Formula Championship throughout many different nationalities and many different disciplines. And they all pretty much bring the thunder week in and week out, and you have to be on your A game if you want to bring home that Constructors.
That was Rob Collier navigating around, I believe that was Robin Summer. No, it wasn't. It was Christina Ryan, I believe. So, Christina's struggling a little bit.
Yeah, but I mean, it's worth noting the past couple weeks, she's been kind of not the strongest during practice and qualifying. And the 2 races she did attend, she ended up getting a podium out of it. So she's a very good long run driver that knows how to play the strategy right and do the off sequence strategy from the leaders and is able to keep her nose clean.
Yes. However, the podiums are nice, right? Like 2/3 is nothing to laugh about. She's top 5 in the points. Do you also consider that for a driver who just came off of winning the national championship by winning in the Champ Car World Series, 3 race wins, she's an NASCAR driver, 3rd place sometimes isn't enough, and that has to weigh on you a little bit. Like sitting in 3rd constantly, like at some point, like you have to kind of like settle down. Like, okay, fundamentally something's off. What do we need to fix here? She's a world-class driver. There's no doubt about it. The question is just like what's missing so far these opening rounds for her? Like, where is she not super comfortable right now? That is going to be an interesting question that they're going to have to figure out probably after the holiday break. Because you're not like, you don't have a chance to really take a deep breath in until after Barcelona next week.
Yeah, I throw out the point though in the play devil's advocate. Obviously, as someone that doesn't have as much of a pedigree as Christine Ryan does when it comes in the driving realm of sim racing, but something where consistency does matter. And you've seen, again, I don't want to rag on Emma Kruger too much in some regard, but she's a very quick driver, but she has problems with consistency. Eli Sasek, another example, a driver that's pretty fast, but considering after the first round at Phillip Island, he had that incident lap 1 at Fuji, and he had a pretty all right car at Indianapolis, but had to spend a lot of time in pit lane, and then a bad strategy choice with NPM. So it's a situation where, yes, winning isn't the greatest, and it's a situation where if some of the drivers ahead of her in the standings below her are able to iron out the kinks, she could be under threat. But it's something where at the end of the day, consistently getting those podiums is something that could keep you in the championship hunt. So eventually when the fix does come, you'll have a bit of a buffer just in case. So even though it's not up to her winning ways, it really is nothing to sneeze at.
Right now we're looking at, again, Rob Collier we're looking at right now on the medium compound tires. Again, there's Jason Blaney in 5th. Christina Ryan in 6th place. Pull up her most recent laps here. Best lap 110.949. And that was her last full lap out on the track. She's on the medium compound tire still. So we'll see if she can improve on that lap time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, have some time.
We made the I made the question earlier, like, hey, these are the teams that are dominating right now aren't the teams that we expected to. The midfield sometimes isn't a bad place to be because it quickly can become the front of the field, as we've seen especially the last couple weeks. Indianapolis and Fuji was standing. Consistency is key. Christina Ryan, obviously queen of consistency. Every race that she's done so far, she's podiumed in this series. She didn't do Phillip Island. Well, she didn't do Fuji, excuse me. She did Phillip Island, finished 3rd there. But that kind of dates back to her Champ Car season. You look at it, 18 starts, 17 top 10s, 16 top 5s. Like she was she was a guaranteed top 5 driver no matter what the race was. So you had to look. So notwithstanding Nashville, where that was an electrical failure, her only non-top 5 of the Champ Car season was Sebring in February. She has got an impeccable top 10 run going on right now. So it's incredible to see. Like, even if she's not happy with her pace right now, she's got that consistency and that ability to just put her head down and focus that is second to none. It's been truly phenomenal to see.
Mm-hmm.
So, I know that a lot's weighing on her right now, but she is by and far one of the very best here in ABN. So, just a lot of season left to get everything figured out. Jacob Legenship has joined in. He's actually joined the track for 1MA Racing.
Mm-hmm. Brings the count up to 15 drivers.
Yep, 8 teams. Only Twisted Racing by IMB Racewear sitting with 1 driver. All the other teams currently on track have 2.
Mm-hmm.
Take a second here. Here's where all the teams are located in the standings. NSR, Nick Pressey Motorsports, top 4 lockout so far. But gets a lot more competitive the further down you go down the list.
Yeah.
And we've seen the top 4 like this before. A couple weeks ago at Fuji, we saw it like this. And it didn't end like that at all. So...
yeah, no, Fuji and Indianapolis. Drivers we saw at the top half of the field.
Stasic just took the top spot.
He did.
A 110.088.
Beat Derek Miller by 0.089, which is under a 10th.
Yep. There's Rob Collier. Still sitting in 4th. He's on the medium compound tire still.
Mm-hmm.
Only driver on the softs now is Bren Roberts and Tom Sears. Tom Sears has just switched to the softs.
Yes.
Coming to 10 laps to go here in practice.
Speaking of Bren Roberts on a set of softs, we just saw him finish that lap. He did a 1:12.708, and that's going to slot him in 11th position. And the other driver on a set of softs, Tom Sears, slots up to 12th position with a 1:13.315.
Couple of strategies that are in the works for tonight's 71 lap Grand Prix. Right now, you're looking at it. Softs and mediums. That's what it worked in Indianapolis to perfection for Villeneuve Motorsports. What gave them their 1-2 last week. Invertedly, you can run mediums and softs, like what Derek Miller ran. The issue is that you don't want to stay on the mediums too awful long and make yourself exposed to an undercut. And that's what happened to Derek Miller. He stayed on track for way too long. And by the time he got to the softs, he had already lost too much time to make up. So
yes,
there's the interesting strategies that you start on the softs and then leave yourself vulnerable, or you start on the mediums, make yourself vulnerable at the start, or actually, yeah, do you make yourself vulnerable at the end or more vulnerable at the start? Is the big question there.
I think it comes down to where you think you can qualify. If you think you got a front running car or a car that can qualify up front, you probably wanted to put on a set of softs. If you think that you got a car a little bit farther back, let's say maybe a car that's 10th, 11th, maybe fastest at qualifying, you're going to want to probably put on a set of mediums or hards because you want to use that longer run to take advantage.
All 15 cars have set their first lap on the board. Jacob Blankenship just joined the board, 15th fastest. As we watch Eli Sasek navigate through.
Mm-hmm.
Sasek, Miller, Kruger all out. That was a car slid, and that was Blankenship.
Mm-hmm.
That was a bit wild.
Yeah, and we're going to probably see a little bit more of that one, especially during qualifying coming up, because drivers are going to be on the edge trying to get as much time as they can. Almost spilled my water.
Nathan Line, 14th fastest. Still getting up to grips in his first race in the World Championships. Wow. Flipped a lot of curving, but saved it.
Mm-hmm.
Sasek using as much draft as he could to start off this lap.
That's my main wonder, kind of thinking out loud. Is any driver going to bring the time here to challenge Eli Sasek before practice ends? It's no points if you out qualify someone in practice, but for pride purposes, at the very least, I wonder if anyone's going to try to dethrone the number 9.
I think the less worry about Sasek and more like, okay, let's see if we can get to the 109s.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder if that's like the big question mark at the moment, because Sasek, Miller, Presti all on softs, as is Pelletier, Sharp, and Summer.
Mm-hmm.
You'd have to reason that Presti's going to be at least close to where Sasek is on time. That's where you'd want him to be. But I don't know. You start hyper-focusing on that too awful much, and you end up like just losing it completely.
Oh yeah, if you break it, well, Eli Sasek just broke into the 109s.
Well, that answered that question. He gained a 10th.
Yep, so it's doable. So here's his teammate trying to get a little bit closer to the main lead here. Sasek gonna head back out on track to go for another run here. Oh, push as hard as you can. You can put a paper card between Presley there and that wall. Let's see if he can get a little faster. It's worth noting that Sasek got his run there Looks like he only got a purple sector 3 out of that time, and obviously he still has purple sector 1, so he doesn't have the purple sector 2, though. So he's fast in the first, third sector, but not the fastest in the second one, which is just kind of interesting to note. Because this is a track that's probably more downforce, like less down. You're going to run a little bit less downforce in it in comparison to other tracks because of the longer straights, and you're just going to try to deal through the corners.
There's a compromise to that, yeah.
Well, let's see what Pressy can do coming out the last sector here. How close can he get to his teammate? Looks like it's going to be faster. And across the line, it is not faster. So I eat my words.
It's actually a lot slower. It's like second half slower.
Yeah, so he lost a lot of time in the second and third sectors.
Which leads me to believe that he is running more downforce.
Maybe.
Because the third sector, I'll point it out here. Press is going to come across the third sector now.
Mm-hmm.
That's where the third sector begins. So it's straight away, one corner, a pirouette,
there.
and then a straightaway.
Yeah. It's quite literally just, yeah, that whole third sector is flat out, light lift, flat out going into one.
Yeah. You only have two braking zones. It's the chicane and the hairpin.
Mm-hmm.
Granted, those are the two most critical points of the track, but...
Oh, yeah. Less than 5 minutes to go in this practice session here. So last second adjustments, and we see kind of a lot of drivers out on the circuit. Only drivers not currently out there are Blaney, Ryan, Kruger, Pierce, Roberts, and Sears. Everyone else either on out laps or laps in general, running for long run.
You see how much Sassek's pushing too. You saw him lock up there and dance wide.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone finding their way into the stream. We appreciate you spending your Wednesday evening with us here on ABN. We had the ability to break some news earlier today. Our storefront on Agent Inc. is now officially open. You can use the button below this video if you're looking at our stream panels and check out what we have available now. A lot of comfort wear for this winter, but everything now officially open. Part of our partnership with Agent Inc.
Mm-hmm. You get yourself a t-shirt, a hoodie, or a pair of sweatpants.
Yeah, there's a lot
at
more
good
coming.
Prices.
Yeah, there's a lot more coming. You got a lot of options that we're looking at right now. So today's been a good day.
Ooh, evasive action there. The Sassek had to underbrake there, had to avoid running into the back of the 29 and the 33. Just a bit of a stack up there. 33. And paid it dearly with some damage he'll have to tow for.
Yeah, of course, it's probably going to end his run in practice, too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because looking at the clock, if he left the pit lane right now, yeah, there's no way he'd get around and do another lap. So yeah, it's going to be session done. If you're in the pit lane right now, you're ready to go for qualifying.
Ready or not, here you go.
Yep. So savor the last 30 seconds of the man-made island before it is go time.
Beautiful track. Love it. It's a go-to destination.
Mm-hmm.
I saw Prezi just went fast at Sector 3.
Yep. He's only really close. He's 0.123 off his teammate. Still couldn't break into the 110s, 109s, but he's close.
Practice is now over.
Mm-hmm.
Means it's almost time for qualifying here. 20-minute qualifying session. So let's see how everyone does.
I feel like Sharp will be the first one out on the track.
She's not.
No, she's not. It's going to be Christina Ryan. Followed behind by, I think that's Rob Collier.
Correct.
And then I believe it's Sasek and Pressy, the next two. It is.
Chance to throw some information on you real quick. Here's the track information. As far as the temperatures go, 65 degrees the air temp, 68 degrees the track temp. It's as friendly to the tires as you can possibly get.
Uh-huh.
And for that, the drivers are thankful.
And
that's something that's going to be a staggering when we go. It's even just going to Spain next week is going to be staggering. But wait until next season with the W13 and running through the summer. That's going to be a staggering difference that everyone's at adjust to. Everyone's got the benefit of we're running in the wintertime where it's colder and the track's more friendly. The track's not going to get friendly. It's not going to get any friendlier than this right now.
Nope. Just be thankful we didn't have to shovel the virtual snow off the ground.
Yeah. Christina on the mediums, same with Pelletier Sharp.
Well, Ryan just had the purple
Eli Sasek on the softs, as well as Nick Pressy. Those are the only two on track right now with the soft compound tire.
Just watching the fast lap of the first sector. It went the Ryan, because obviously Ryan did it first, then Sasek, and then Sasek just lost it to another driver in question.
Yeah, Pelletier Sharp, and then Christina briefly had the fastest second sector. The thing is that Sasek's right behind her.
Yeah.
So that's going to help Sasek more than anything.
Mm-hmm. We'll see what Sharp's second sector was not really that close in comparison. It was closer to Ryan's than it was to Sasek. So it may be showing that Sharp may have a speedy straight line car in that 18.
Seeing Ryan briefly P1.
But here comes Sasek.
Yeah,
going to push her down by a second. Well, just a little under a second.
Nick Pressy at 1:12.9.
There's Robin Summers.
Yeah, now interesting. So Summer and Ryan, both prismatic cars on the medium compound tire. They are not running as I believe a little bit of communication issue. That was with, I believe, Jason Blaney. It was.
Yep, it was. He even said he tried to get out of the way there, but did not work.
They're just coming up way too quick.
Mm-hmm. Just a lot of cars going for that real estate, and at some point, sometimes you just can't get out of the way in time.
So Sasek fastest across the board for sectors 1, 2, and 3. But Christina Ryan the fastest on the medium compound tire. Pelletier's Sharp's first lap invalidated.
Makes me wonder how many of these drivers invalidated that lap through that last hairpin right for the wall champions, because again, very easy to invalidate on that section.
Yeah, oh, it very much is. Bren Roberts, front and center of your screen as he finishes his first lap.
Yeah, I was gonna say Roberts was looking good. He's got 2 greens. Obviously, because he's put down that first lap, but see what he can do, and that's gonna be P4 for him on a set of hards.
Yeah, that's impressive. That is very impressive so far. Bren Roberts, 4th place on the hard compound tire, Sasek on the soft, Ryan and Summer on the medium compound tire, top 4. Pressy on the soft as well, despite his teammate also being on the same tire. Pressy, well down the order. Down in 6th so far, but 2.5 seconds off the pace.
It should be worth knowing at least a second. It's a second from him to top of 3rd position, though, so
yeah,
it's not a hard hill to climb, but he's gonna have to find something.
Is now P2.
Yeah, P2. Big lap. Looking for a bit of redemption after what happened last week, where she got a front row lockout but could not finish there.
Jason Blaney just went 3rd place.
So 9 cars have set times so far, but the remaining of the field have not been able to put down either a clean lap or have not actually went out there yet. Honestly, I think every car is out there doing a lap except for James Pierce.
And Donnie Crouch. But Crouch is actually in pit lane now.
Yeah. Chip, green sector 3. Did he improve? No, he did not. Derek Miller crossed the line. It should be a clean lap. Where does that 56 put himself? Never mind. Guess he validated. Ooh, Emma Kruger with a purple sector 2. Looks like she's got some speed in that 70 machine. She comes down the long run here. What can she do? She can get a little help from the car ahead. That's going to be top of the charts. Big lap by Emma Kruger. Going to put her P1 a 10th clear of Eli Sasek in 2nd. So the hunt is on for Eli Sasek and the rest of the field. Now got to chase Emma Kruger.
Yeah.
Who's currently top slot.
Follow Donnie Crouch there across the line. That was a big help. We're looking at Crouch right now as he goes on his lap. He's on the mediums. Huge lap. Medium compound tire for Emma. Medium so far proving to be the way to go as Sasek back to the top of the board.
It should be worth noting his 1st and 2nd sector are yellow, and his 3rd sector is where he found the time. So big 3rd sector.
Miller up to 4th, Blaney in 5th, Christina Ryan in 6th. Time series first lap. Enough for 12th.
Every car in this field is set a time except for James Pierce.
Pierce the only driver that not set lap time so far, but over half of the qualifying session left here in Montreal. McGregor reporting that Crouch did more harm than good, and that's why she's saying like that Sasek was able to easily leapfrog back into the pole position slot. So she's obviously not too awful happy with having, I guess she had dirty air for longer than just that last sector. Christina Ryan up to the top 5 for Prismatic Motorsports.
Ooh, Jason Blaney with a purple first sector.
Yeah, he does. He's
But
got it
yellow
so far.
second. Mm-hmm.
Not faster in Sector 2, but still a lot here in Sector 3.
Yeah, considering he was 4 tenths quicker than Eli Sasek on his lap, but 2 tenths slower in the second sector, so it's balancing out to an average.
See what it looks like here in Sector 3. Through the chicane in the lap, and across the line as they power through to a front row start. He's done a lot of things. It was not a valid lap time. It invalidated Sector 2, that's why.
Oh, fair enough.
But it would have been enough for P2. So he knows he can.
Mm-hmm. Current points leader wanting to extend that lead, seeing his main rival currently top of the board.
First time in his career that he's been leading a world championship. Career that dates back to 2013.
Hearing some chatter that Ryan was not too happy with Sharp, saying Sharp may have weaved in front of her on regard, so Rachel may have to take a look at that possibly at the end. But Nicola Presley going to go P6.
Yeah, leapfrogging on the soft compound tire as Blaney over-aggressive in the wall of champions. And he found it the hard way.
Mm-hmm. Ben Roberts green for the first 2 sectors.
Kruger about to start a lap here.
Mm-hmm. Got to find 2 tenths.
9 minutes to go.
You know, looking head on at her Gear Cats' machinery, it always looks like a bit like a Mercedes because of that like light blue, almost teal kind of wing color. But when you look at the sides, it's obviously shows it's painted different.
A little bit of latency there for Kruger.
Mm-hmm.
Pelletier Sharp needs to be careful.
Teammates coming up here. Saska just went faster. I could not break into the 109s. Kind of makes me wonder in some regards. I think Sask was all alone, at least in his situation. But it makes me wonder if any driver is going to be able to use maybe a teammate or a friend or maybe an enemy to try to use that last sector to get enough of a pole to try to get you that higher, because it's going to be pretty hard to beat that time as Kruger does go faster. 110, 192, but is cut big into. Would have been enough for pole if Sasek did not approve, but Sasek approved. So Sasek can still be P1.
So there is some information here. We're going to have to hide the qualifying mode for a second. Car number 18, for impeding another driver in qualifying, driver will be investigated post-race. So that would be Lily Pelletier Sharp.
If I had a gander, it may have been with the incident with Ryan or something else that we may have not caught.
It had been the issue with not only Christina Ryan, but it could also be the issue with Jason Blaney.
Mm-hmm.
Because she's impeded now, just to our count, 2 cars.
Yeah, pretty snap there on the last corner there. It's going to kill any chance of really to improve. That lap was way off the pace anyway, so wasn't like she was going to go faster on that one.
And now she's not going to get faster at all.
Nope. Base of action there from Pressy. Ryan with the green sector 2, going to come across the line here. Can she get any higher than P6? Third sector was yellow. Is it going to be enough to get at least any time out of it?
It was.
Enough to get P4. So big second sector propels her up to P4. And Emma Kruger, right now, green first sector, purple second sector. As we're watching her, she just exited the end of sector 2.
Yep, we're looking at her right now.
Mm-hmm.
Down the back straightaway.
Blinked out for a second. She's
Roberts
back.
across the line. Was the lap any good for Bren Roberts? It was not valid. Nathan Lyons' lap not much better. Judith Cooper's just joined in. Kruger, purple sector 3.
Oh, she got it, and she binned it.
But it was enough for pole. Provisional pole, Emma Kruger, 109.861.
Thank God in virtual racing, you don't need the car back after you set the lap because that car was not going to be fixable. But
now
she
the pressure's on.
Mm-hmm.
Kruger looking for 2 poles in a row. Sasek looking to try to thwart that.
Here he comes. Doesn't look that. Actually, it's a warm-up lap right now, so he's going to set up for a lap right now. Yeah. So this is the money lap. Mm-hmm. He's still got time, though. Yeah. 60 minutes past the session. We're just a little under halfway, so
yeah.
In theory,
we got less than 5 minutes to go.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, it's 20 minutes. It's a 20-minute session, not a 30-minute session. So
yeah, it's not champ car.
I looked up at the clock. I'm like, oh, 15. He's got a half session left, and like thought about it. I'm like, oh no. So he's got probably 2 attempts at it.
Yeah,
if he's lucky.
Looks like he's got it pretty well timed out. He will have another run at it here, at least one more run. I'd say he might get an easy 2 runs out of this.
Yeah, because he's about to finish his lap. Toes, that's 17, 8. Yeah, he definitely gets 2 attempts at it. Let's see what he can do.
He'll be on his second run when the timer expires.
Did have a green first sector.
Ooh, this is not going to be good. He threw it in anyway.
Going for it.
Does he? I mean, he has to, but it's not going to be faster. It wasn't faster. Sector 1 was slower, and Sector 1 was slow enough that it didn't matter what he ran. It was not going to be. Actually, it was still faster.
Yeah, he improved. He didn't break into the 109s.
It was still 110.003.
Mm-hmm.
And as we expected, he was going to immediately go back to pit lane to try to get another shot at it. But traffic entering pit lane is what caught him out there. And Kruger just going to reset here. We're going to try to get one more shot at it. Sasek on his out lap. Pelletier sharp. Not setting any best so far. And not going to make it to the line that way.
Nope.
Miller resetting. Everyone's realizing you've got time to reset one more time.
Yeah, don't feel comfortable with the lap. Go for another attempt.
Yeah, you've got one more chance.
Speaking of drivers,
to third.
Yep, taking advantage of the opportunity. He'll slot the P3.
Yeah, he's right in that window. There's Christina Ryan trying to stay out of the way, but she is not towing back. She's trying to time this up to where she'll be the last. She may get 2 laps on this set.
It's going to be close.
She's gunning it now. But she's got clear space.
Yeah, no drivers leaving the pit lane right now.
She's got 10 seconds to spare. Because you need at least 110. She crossed the line with 75 seconds left.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone that's crossed the line after Christina Ryan on their last laps. A lot of cars in pit lane will not set any more laps.
Speaking of drivers that not probably going to make it, Sasek, I don't think will, as he came out with 105. Ooh,
and Christina Ryan got thrown off. Was that Pelletier sharp again? It was.
It is.
Oh, no.
She's saying she's out of the way, but that's not going to give any consolation to Ryan. Because Sharp was on an outlap.
He's already in investigation for impeding 2 drivers. Would hate to see that stack up.
Yep,
We're getting a time penalty for violating blue flag rules at Indianapolis.
I think something happened to Sasic as well as something I think may have impeded Sasic. Yeah, Sasic not going to make the line. Kruger not going to improve.
Nick Pressy on a lap, but it doesn't look like it's any better.
Nope.
He's the next that could challenge. Pelletier Sharp's lap invalidated.
Yep. So let's see who's left. It's the 56, the 85, the 94, and the 84.
Yep.
Actually, no, I think Blankenship actually on an outlap, so he won't count. So Derek Miller first going to be across the line. Doesn't prove the third sector. Can he go any higher?
Does. P4.
He can. P4.
Pressy looking for a front row start. Can he get it?
Got to find 3/10.
I don't think he's got it. He might have gotten it. Did he get it?
No, he didn't. His first sector
His
sank
first
the
sector
ship.
was bad. It was bad enough that it negated the second 2 sectors.
Last driver up is Bren Roberts. He's got a first green and a second green.
Yeah, he's at least personal best right now. It's going to push Christina Ryan out of the top 6.
If he can hold his nerve.
Oh!
Oh! Monza jumped that corner, trying to go for it all, and that's gonna sell the ship. And P7 is as high as he will start, and that's gonna be the end of qualifying. So now we have started the warm-up here. Driver's going to get 10 minutes, make last-minute preps, make sure everything's connected well, get maybe a few extra laps just to figure out what the car or even practice training starts if they so choose.
All right.
Last-minute time is quite variable.
So here's what we got so far. It's the Grand Prix de Canada, race 416, the 2022-2023 ABN Hyper Formula Championship. The World Championships go through Montreal. Just off the coast of Montreal proper on the Ile de Notre Dame, 2.68 mile track. Technically, it's a street circuit. All the roads used to make this track are publicly available outside of the Grand Prix, similar to what we see at the Mount Panorama circuit, Bathurst. Similar vein, often used as a part of a marathon course and part of a bicycling course for when those events also come around. Beautiful and majestic island. Again, as Kevin mentioned earlier in practice, man-made, but been a pinnacle part of the Grand Prix calendar since the late 1970s. Became named after the late Gilles Villeneuve following his passing in 1982. As we see cars rolling around the hairpin, one of the most famous features. We've seen a lot of cool things happen in the hairpin, but also a lot of scary things. Robert Kubica's 2007 crash comes to mind as one of the scariest incidents that have ever happened here at the circuit Gilles Villeneuve. Air temp 65 degrees, track temp 68 degrees. Again, does not get much better than this, and it's going to be a lot better for those soft compound tires that some drivers have elected to use for the start of this Grand Prix. Taking some time here. No Canadian drivers in the field, unfortunately. We will ride on board with one of the drivers for a lap here around Montreal in the medium compound tire, Derek Miller for Nexus Sim Racing. He's in Sector 2 right now as we go through the warm-up phase. Drivers getting ready to go here. For those that are tuning in and then making their way in time for the Grand Prix, we appreciate you spending your Wednesday evening with us here on ABN. Action continues tomorrow as the Champ Car Preseason Challenge for the first time visits Europe for the Grand Prix of Rackstad at the Rudskogen Motor Center. We go to Norway tomorrow night. Christina Ryan, Strix9 Pulsatrix will be on the call. I'll be on track. Kevin Young will be relaxing and not having to worry about any stress at all like he did last week at Dover. Lucky man. But a lot of action coming tomorrow night as well. And then Saturday night, action for the SRL Redline Truck Series as they conclude their season at Homestead, Miami and crown a new champion. It's going to be a lot of fun. Cannot wait for that. But we are about 5 minutes away from watching the cars grid up for the 4th time in the World Championship season. So as drivers go through warm-ups here, Indianapolis was pretty chaotic. How chaotic do you think Montreal's opening lap's going to be here?
I mean, maybe hopefully not as chaotic just because it was a lot to call last week. Maybe from an entertainment standpoint, different story. But yeah, I think it's going to be a little less chaotic. I'm hopeful that maybe just some pre-race jitters being back in North America for the first of a couple rounds. Get those jitters out. Just coming up to about 3 minutes to go here. So not many drivers have taken advantage of this warm-up as we've seen the past couple weeks. Only 6 drivers set times.
A lot of drivers have done practice starts, though. Peltier, Sharp, Ryan, Kruger, Summer, Nathan Lyon, Jacob Blanchett, they've all done a practice start.
Fair enough.
So, that bears a little bit better.
It's worth noting as I think back, the only real out of the 3 rounds we've had so far, the one that's had the most like issues Actually, all the starts have been fine.
Yeah.
But going into turn 1, the only real issue was at Fuji when Pressy had his brakes lock up and the thing kicked out in reverse. But both Phillip Island and Indianapolis, at least the first couple corners, were fine. In Indianapolis cases, though, after the first couple corners is when the chaos really started to kick off.
Yeah. Two minutes to go and warm up here. Again, for those that are sticking around for the Grand Prix of Canada, this is your chance to use the bathroom, get something to drink, get something to snack on. 71 laps coming up for the Canadian Grand Prix. Had a couple questions in the ABN community Discord. But why 71 laps and not 70? ABN Grand Prix distances for the World Championship are a minimum of 190 miles, save for the Grand Prix in Long Beach, which is essentially our Monaco. So 190 miles is the minimum distance. So everyone thinks about the traditional Grand Prix race distance of 305 kilometers. So a different measuring system makes it a little bit more finicky. In the case of like what we have tonight, sees an additional lap added to what would be a traditional 70-lap race. Again, no Canadian drivers in this race. Taju, the only Canadian driver eligible to race in the World Championships at the moment, unavailable, will not be available until at best next week in Barcelona. Less than a minute away. As everyone getting the last seconds in. It's going to be an interesting race here tonight.
Oh, 100%.
As warm-up ends, we're going to go over the starting grid as quickly as we can. Because once everyone gets ready to grid up, it is a 60-second timer.
Yes.
So here's the starting grid for the Grand Prix de Canada. It's Emma Kruger, second pole position in a row. Eli Sasek alongside her in the front row. Nick Pressy, Derek Miller, row 2. Lily Pelletier-Sharp, Christina Ryan, row 3. Bryn Roberts, Jason Blaney, row 4. Rob Collier, Robin Summer, row 5. Then it's Crouch, Blankenship, Sears, Nathan Line, James Pierce, and Judith Cooper, rounding out the field here in Montreal. As everyone gets ready to grid up. Missing Blankenship, Sears, Pierce, and Cooper. Sears has just joined the grid.
Now Blankenship, Pierce, and Cooper.
Here's a good look at the starting grid. The lights are on.
They will start from the pit lane.
Yeah, you saw Blankenship just joined the pit lane. 5 red lights, and away we go. Once again, and Emma Kruger again botches the start.
Big start, though, from both Nico, especially E-Motorsport cars. Well, at least for one of them. Pressy gets a good start. Sass is going to get kind of hanged out the dry on the inside there, and he's going to be side by side with Sharp.
Sharp, who got forced into the grass. Watch out!
Oh,
Blaney got forced into a 3-1 situation with Christina Ryan.
Yes, and that's going to be 2 cars around there. That's probably going to be, I don't know if Blaney's going to be able to continue or not, but Christina Ryan's the wrong way around.
Yeah, I don't think Christina Ryan's race is going to be able to continue.
Nope, Blaney's got it refired.
Christina Ryan with a lot of trouble. She was pointed around backwards. As Blaney tried forcing a 3-1 situation instead of waiting for Pelletier-Sharp. And
no love lost there.
That had really nothing to do with Pelletier Sharp. Pelletier Sharp got forced wide by Sasek.
Mm-hmm. Regardless, that's allowed Derek Miller to be kind of the big winner here. He's got it up the P2.
A lot of big winners in this. This is what MPM needed after 2 terrible weeks at the office. Prismatic Motorsports have got to be fuming.
Just racing sometimes is Ryan's just going to try to limp it around to make it to the pit lane. Meanwhile, Kruger's gotten around Sasek. I think Sasek may have had a slight mistake.
Oh, Sasek has had a mistake. A huge mistake for Sasek.
Big mistake for the driver that's number 2 in the standings right now, and I don't think that car is going to go anywhere.
He's letting everyone go by. Yep, Christina Ryan in pit lane. Sasek had to drop all the way down to 13th.
Only saving grace is his main rival Blaney is only 1 spot ahead of him right now because the incident happened to Blaney. You know, we do got a fight here for the lead as Miller going to possibly throw a move in going to the hairpin. He'll not be able to stick it, and Pressie's going to hang on.
Keep an eye on Emma Kruger, the Belgian, trying to go for second place. That is such a sketchy move to make. Typically something clockwork, but when you can't see the driver around you, it's so difficult to try to react. Kruger being polite and knowing the situation that she's in at the moment, saying that she's going to have to wait to where it's a very clear move. Make it without question.
Yeah, she's had some blinking problems we saw throughout qualifying and warm-up, so hope we can get those ironed out because it's always a bit sketchy when you're right behind someone and they keep blinking in and out in regard. Top 3 all under a blanket here. Kruger feels like she's the fastest out of the 3. Looks like she's going to try to make a move. Can she outbreak Miller?
Whoa,
no, she won't. She won't be close enough. Is it?
Between Miller and Pressing.
Miller almost ran in the back of the 94 machine. And they have a 7.7 second gap on the 18 machine. Here comes Miller. Miller going to have the slipstream out the draft. He's going to clear the 94. Kruger going to try to throw it in as well. And Kruger's going to go to the wall. He almost hit the wall. She almost clips the wall champion. She will miss it, but she's going to have to reverse quickly and get it refired. She does. But that's going to cost her well over 5-6 seconds from a simple mistake trying to be a little too greedy. And maybe she should have waited behind the 94.
Eli Sasek's race is over. I believe as is the race of number 80, Christina Ryan. So her first DNF since Natural and her first DNF in the World Championship comes here. Derek Miller leads the World Championship. He doesn't lead the World Championship right now. He leads the race.
Yes. However, if that results hold, he will take over the lead of the World Championship. Actually, I think it would actually go to Bren Roberts instead, because nope, Miller first, then Bren Roberts. Bren Roberts also get improvement, though. Collier just got around Robin Summers for 6th. As it's brewing up big time between the two of them. So Miller shades of Fuji, where he avoided the chaos and the calamity and was able to kind of set sail into the distance. And right now, shades of the same song, different verse.
Yeah. There to pick up the pieces. While we're at it right now, we're going to interview Christina Ryan here, see what she's got to say regarding that lap 1 incident. And she's going to have she's going to be very frustrated for sure. Christina, this is Carmen from the ABN booth. You got a copy? Christina, this is Carmen from the ABN booth. Got a copy?
She said yes.
Cannot hear her at the moment. I think I hear her now.
Crank me up.
There you go. Alrighty,
Oh,
Christina.
Derek Miller's crashed. Derek Miller's crashed.
Yep, Derek Miller has crashed and is out of the race.
Yes, that's going to hand the lead back to the 94.
So it continues to pop off here. Christina, lap 1, the top of an already frustrating afternoon. You got impeded twice in qualifying, but you were just frustrated throughout practice, unable to find the speed that you knew you were looking for. And kind of just walk us through your perspective on the lap 1, turn 3 crash.
Probably can't say too much. I think you saw what happened. Same people every week. So
we saw how frustrated you were going through practice and qualifying. Obviously, the issues with Pelletier Sharp, sort of, it's not a new theme, but the frustration was kind of spilled over from practice. You seemed to not be confident. Obviously, not being in a great mental space obviously is not going to help matters.
understatement.
What was making the struggle so much harder beyond normal for getting that speed out of the car this afternoon? Like, where were you struggling to find that speed at?
There are a select few people that wouldn't move out of the way. We had plenty of pace. I felt like we had a car that could have put it in the front 2 rows, but when you lose half your qualifying runs because people can't move over, it's kind of, sucks. So knew we were in trouble when we started, and same situation in the race happened in qualifying. So stacked everybody up and we all wrecked. So
you look at Barcelona next week, it's been a song and dance we've seen at this point 2 weeks in a row. Barcelona's probably going to be 3. How do you try to solve that? Do you just try to get out sooner? Obviously, it didn't work this weekend. How do you possibly try to eliminate that issue next week before the holiday break to try to get some more points back?
Race control punishes the people who are the problem. Would be a good start. I know they're doing the best they can right now, but this is nothing new, I think. Not going to say who they are, not going to say anything bad, just going to keep my mouth shut on that, but beyond that, but, when people can cause problems like that and still be out on the racetrack and have a list of people that have been affected by them so far in the 3 races alone, 4 races, just want to say thanks to everybody who's supporting me. Not sure how many people are here right now, but shout out to the sponsors. Thanks to Prismatic and Cert Diverse, Make Honey Setup Shops, Cut On Computers, Go for the Gap, everybody who, ABN, you guys, obviously, everybody who believes in me. I was thinking we might have a good car today, but we'll never get to know. So,
It's understandable. Christina, obviously frustrating to say the least, but take care of yourself. Hopefully we get to see you next week and try to get back on the podium here.
Yeah, we'll see about that.
Have a good night.
Christina Ryan not happy, as you can tell.
Yeah, that's an understatement there. She is extremely frustrated. And again, like it's well documented the issues that she's had with some drivers on track. So Waste Control is going to have to take a really deep dive into that, and it directly kind of correlates from what we saw last week. So as we watch Kruger and Pressy battle it out west of a battle, I know Kruger overshot it.
Similar to what happened last time, she tried to make a pass, and on Pressy, last time she was hit the wall champions. This time she was a little too deep and has to take the escape road.
Big time. So mistake.
Really struggling.
And that's the issue we're seeing a lot of drivers make right now. It's been constant mistakes. And Christina kind of alluded to it. A lot of mistakes coming from a lot of drivers. So, and that's coming from the top all the way down.
It's just a situation of just that gear cat has 9 lives, but hopefully she hasn't burned all of them yet.
Kruger, desperate to find some points, has not had a very lucky 3 races to start the season. She did well at Phillip Island, but it's been downhill since. Did not get to score points. Didn't even get to go through turn 1 at Fuji. And then didn't get to complete 5 laps at Indianapolis last week.
It should be worth noting as well as she goes for another pass here. Can she get this to stick? But even at Phillip Island, she spun at least twice trying to get up to the field. So
yeah,
she's had trouble being consistent, but she gets the job done there, and she'll gap Pressy big time by at least by a second. So I think Preston kind of tires me falling off a bit here, or maybe just knowing the situation, how hard Kruger's pressing. Maybe it's a situation where he thinks that she could self-destruct and pick up the pieces, as we saw with Derek Miller.
And it also could be one of those things where, like, he may just not have the pace. Kruger's been faster just about all session long. He may just be understanding, like, hey, my fight's not with Emma right now. And it's not. Like, Emma was sitting on, I think, if you look at what she entered the race with, she entered the race with 20 points.
Uh-huh.
You know, like, obviously Nick Pressy's lower than that. Nick Pressy has 5 points, but I think for Pressy, I think it's less of, okay, well, I'm not fighting Emma for anything. There's no point to really fight so far.
I think he's looking maybe bigger pictures as well for constructors, knowing that maybe he doesn't have the pace for the drivers, but knowing that even though you want to win and get 25 points max, or 26 with a fast lap, you want a situation where you know your main rivals in the constructors, Jason Blaney and Nathan Lyon, are both really struggling right now, 9th and 10th respectively, and you want to get as many points as you can.
That's something that we're going to have to keep an eye on as well. Jason Blaney, currently the champion leader entering this race, back up to the tail end of Jacob Blankenship. Every position he gains adds a little bit more of a cushion. As it sits right now, Miller not out of this race, 3 laps down, but his main competition at the top of the table, not even relevant right now. Sassek's out, Miller's out, Roberts is right ahead of him. Roberts is 10th, but Blaney's 9th, so that's not the points needed. Christina Ryan out of this race. Wesley Durnett didn't start. Like, that is, and Emma Kruger, even if she wins with where Blaney's at right now, Emma cannot get past him in the standings. All he has to do is stay in the points.
Yeah, 100%.
So,
but obviously with stops coming up as well, we saw last week with Sassek, he had that situation where he got held on pit lane longer to fix the car. And it makes me wonder, with the opening lap situations, or maybe in Kruger's situation, does she have some minor possible damage that may need to be fixed? Because we saw her take evasive action in one regard and almost hit the wall champions the other regard. And also with Sharp as well. She was in kind of that sandwich early with Sassek and Ryan. So it's worth noting, is actually, I think something's happened to Sharp, is Sharp is spun it coming off the hairpin.
Yeah, she is still off the track here. Summer in pit lane. And Pelletier Sharp's race is over.
Yeah, she's towed.
And it looks like Robin Summer had an issue. We'll see what happened to Robin Summer.
I don't know
this
if
is right behind
is...
Pelletier Sharp, too.
Okay, so they may be related.
Nope, they're not. Summer spun around on her own. And then a lap later, Pelletier Sharp did the exact same thing. Same corner, too.
Did she short shoot the engine? Because, oh. That may explain why she's out of the race.
What happened?
That would have been Summer.
That's odd.
Because that's clearly Sharp ahead.
Yeah.
So then she gets it.
Oh,
wait a
no.
minute. That was Kruger? I mean, that was... But Kruger was like 4 clear of... Huh.
That's what I was thinking.
And considering that, remember, at the same point, Sharp was in 3rd.
Yeah, that's odd.
Like, that doesn't make sense geographically, unless Summer was like...
And then here's what happened to Blankenship.
Blankenship. He was able to make it back to the pit lane, though. Actually, he's not even pitted yet, so... Now he's in the pits. Very odd.
Yeah, none of that made sense.
And it ended Sharp's night.
And Robin Summers.
Correct.
Yeah, Summer had her night end as the Pelletier Sharp.
As Kruger just sets the fast lap of the race.
Yep, 1:13.12. Nick Fressy still sitting within a reasonable gap, 5.6 seconds.
Well, it's just a second slower that lap by.
Yeah.
But at least on regard, Kruger's on a set of mediums while Pressy started on a set of softs.
Now it gets interesting points-wise. Roberts up to third. So, One Man Racing, they've done this amazing thing where they've just kept scavenging points. And Roberts right now doing that could get his way onto the podium. That's where he's at right now. Tom Sears, who already has a podium from Fuji, looking for another podium. Rob Collier, that was a car spun around. That was Nathan Lyon that was spun around. But Nathan Lyon's going to try to get it spun back around. There he is. In number 33. He's going to stay out of the way. Or that was Donnie Crouch went by.
It's worth noting Bren Roberts was only 9 points back on Jason Blaney coming into tonight, and with the main rivals ahead of Bren Roberts being Derek Miller, who is out of this race. No, he's actually 3 down, but still going, so he can actually gain more points. Eli Sasick, who's out of this race, and Jason Blaney, who's in this race, but considering that he is damaged and wounded and closer to being put a lap down than getting to the lead, it just shows that he can easily gain some points here and kind of sweep up.
It'd be a tie. It'd be a tie, and Blaney would have the advantage on wins.
Yes. But Bren Roberts trying to pull that consistency strategy that some drivers are known for.
Yeah, Derek Miller back into the points. Blankenship, his race effectively over after pancaking the wall. Looking at Bren Roberts, but there's a little bit of a train behind him. This is the battle for third between Roberts, Sears, and Collier.
Sears and Collier both looking for good results as well. Sears is Phillip Island. He was close to getting a possible podium, and he actually ended up getting a podium at Fuji, if my memory serves me correct. So look to put a second podium in the 14's feather of his cap. But gonna have to try to hunt down the 84. It's going to get an okay run. Flap of DRS is going to open here. He's going to stay on the right. Going to go to the left. Going to out-drag that 84 truck car. Not a truck. And he'll get the pass successfully done. So put Tom Sears up the third. Now Roberts on those hards. The only saving grace, though, is as the run goes longer, those tires will come back in.
Yeah, oh yeah, absolutely. Right now, the mediums are right now beginning to enter their range. But they will fall out of their range eventually.
Speaking of gaps, Pressy's fallen now to 8.6 seconds behind Emma Kruger and is now 13 clear, though, of Tom Sears. So he's basically in no man's land, which is... It's a land where, as a driver, depending on where the position is, you're happy about it in some regard, but you're also kind of upset because as a racer at the end of the day, you kind of want to race. You don't race in a racing simulator for hot laps.
Are you sure about that?
Well, you can, and you do it, but in this regard, you want to race. As Emma Kruger sets another fastest lap, a 1:12.623 for that number 70.
Trying to maximize all them points. It's hers to lose.
Yeah. And considering that she is the pole sitter, she's looking to be the first Grand Slam driver here in both
She didn't lead the first lap.
Oh yeah, she didn't. You're correct. But still looking for a good weekend regardless. Max points at the very least. As that gap is continuing to grow.
And now we're looking at this battle for third place that has kind of walked away. Tom Sears now in a more comfortable position as Brent Roberts and Rob Collier are kind of still a little bit further apart. It's now a second between the two.
Mm-hmm. Has opened up that gap a little bit. It's up to at least 2 seconds. But Collier is now within DRS range. And the flap is open, but not going to be close enough really to do anything in that 29. Got within half a second. He could, if he gets enough of a run here, possibly lunge it, but I think that would be a desperation move by that 29. And yeah, he won't even be close enough to really try anything. But just shows the hards have not, like you said, the mediums have come into their lifespan here, but the hards still aren't in their comfort range yet. Donnie Crouch just sets a personal best, but he's 13 back of this battle we're currently watching, so he's going to need a couple more good personal best laps to get caught up here to fight for a top 5. But here comes Collier, going to try to outbrake the 84 here. Again, not going to... I think he just senses he can make the move on the straight here. Doesn't need to force one. And gets a relatively okay exit, a lot closer than he was last time. Flap gonna open up here, gonna use DRS. Can he get the job done? And he's gonna go for it, and he's gonna outbrake Bren Roberts and put Collier up to 4th and Bren Roberts down to 5th. And Collier was able to just get out of DRS range. Well, partially, as Roberts is able to get back, though. Again, Bren Roberts playing the long game here, while Collier and Sears playing a little bit more of the shorter game. Kruger still setting 112s there. Not not her fastest lap, but still within that 112 bracket. And she's pushing, taking those mediums to Char, has gained a 13-second lead over Nicholas Pressey, and well over 27 seconds to Tom Sears. So if she keeps it up, she will have a pit stop window open on 3rd place by the time drivers start making their pit stops, which won't be for many laps, but at least worth noting.
We're coming up to the back of Jason Blaney.
Mm-hmm.
It'd be a good time to kind of mention the blue flag rules, seeing as how someone violated them last week. You do not need to move. You do not need to move out of the way for the race leader. You don't need to move out of the way for anybody, but you can't fight. And that's what we saw on multiple occasions at Indianapolis last week.
Kruger asking not to be held up here, but they're in a little fight too. Blaney and Laney are fighting for their own spots. So, as you can see, one car, I think that was Blaney, pulled off there.
They're not fighting for anything.
Oh, they're lap. Oh yeah, they are lap part. Correct. Both teammates obviously don't want to wreck each other, and also don't want to, just in case they ever end up position in the same regard, they don't want to.
Right now, they're 7th and 8th in the standings, so they're almost guaranteed some points here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no reason to make an enemy here when you're not even fighting each other. Because that's going to be smooth sailing for Emma Kruger, as Kruger is now got a long distance till she could even catch Donnie Crouch. Donnie Crouch is going through corner 3-4 right now.
Yeah.
As Kruger's not even got to the last corner, so a long time before she'll hit any more lap traffic.
calamities were the insanity. Everything is Jason Blaney does come down pit lane.
Mm-hmm.
So all right, we're going to look at what happened here at the initial start. Again, it was all chaos. We're on board, Peltier Sharp.
As her and Sasek are fighting here, Sass kind of just shoves her a bit wide, and then she clips the grass, and then you'll see as in her right side here, just kind of chaos behind.
And that's on netcode right there too.
Mm-hmm.
So Christina Ryan's on board of the opening lap, or what there was of it.
She gets a little bogged down on the start here, but kind of holds her station. And then she's on the inside, and you're going to see Blaney on the outside here, and then Blaney's going to try to press the issue, and then just kind of gets hit from behind, and then Blaney around, and yeah, just nowhere to go.
Here's some recruiter to
No.
start. And just bogs it down again. That's what I saw in Indianapolis a week ago.
One positive, at the very least, is she's a little farther back than the chaos, so she was able to avoid it easily. It's not well halfway with Bren Roberts, as again, just in front of him, you're just going to see there's the issue ahead with Blaney, and there's Ryan going reverse the opposite direction.
And then here was an onboard of what happened to Robin Summer, which we should note is being investigated post-race by the director of competition.
Mm-hmm. She loops it, and then she kind of pulls it in front. She tries to get respun, doesn't know Sharp's coming, and Sharp just kind of runs in.
Blaney's still on pit lane.
Yeah.
Well, actually, lose a spot to his teammate.
Mm-hmm. I guess he has to fix up that car from that lap 1 incident. Electing to take it now. If he doesn't get out soon, though, he will end up losing a spot also to Derek Miller. It should also be what I think Bren Roberts is keeping Rob Collier honest here, is he's within half a second. He's getting okay runs on those hards. It looks like during the second sector, he really gains up on Rob Collier, but Collier is just faster on the straights. As Emma Cruz sets another fastest lap of the race, a 1:12.607 for her troubles. Yeah, still keep an eye on this Roberts Collier battle, and just Roberts again not getting that speed down the straight he needs in order to really get ahead of Rob Collier.
Here's this battle for fourth.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, Roberts would like to try to get back to the fourth spot. Roberts is on the hard compound tires. So, and again, everyone in the top 7 have yet to pit in this race. Jason Blaney still on pit lane.
Yep. the good news is that at the very least, if he can get out soon, Blankenship's out of the race. So as long as he completes his race, he at least will get 2 points to his troubles.
Yep. The issue is if he'll be even allowed to finish.
Mm-hmm.
Because remember, he did have that damage on the opening lap.
Yes. And he's also going to make sure he completes 85% of the race. So if he spends too long there and racks up too many laps, he may not be able to finish 85% of the race.
Still looking at this battle for the 4th position. Closest battle on track at the moment.
Mm-hmm. Which just was knowing Thomas Sears, who was in this battle many laps ago, has basically walked away from Collier and Roberts.
Yeah.
It's opened up 5 seconds on Collier and 6 on Roberts. And both drivers also are going to catch right now the lap down machine of Nathan Lane, is there's going to catch up to him right now. And both going to dispatch him kind of quickly as he'll just pull over here.
Yeah, Line right now just kind of clocking laps, making sure he scores points. There's some drivers that haven't done that. So, just making his way through. For his first championship race, Nathan Line doing what's expected of him. That was what the team needed, and so far the team has exceeded that. As Jason Blaney is still in pit lane now. He has lost 2 laps, and it's about to be 3.
Yes. Considering that car was still somewhat doing okay, I'm shocked that he said such a long pit stop time, but it must have been something that's triggered this long stop.
There's Tom Sears sitting in 3rd place, sitting pretty comfy at the moment in that Airhead Racing machine, trying to get the team its 2nd podium in the World Championship competition. So it's Kruger, Pressy, Sears, Collier, Robert, Crouch.
Mm-hmm.
As Kruger just set another session best, Sector 1.
She's not letting that big gap she has currently up to 27 seconds. She's not letting that deter her. And I think it's kind of a positive, it's a double-edged sword in a way, because it's good that she's keeping the foot down and keeping the throttle down. But the problem is that she's known in the past to make slight mistakes. And if she makes one mistake while trying to push too hard, she could really put herself in a bad spot. But like I said, she will be, at the pace she's going, she will be well over a pit stop clear of Pressy before pit stops are made.
Roberts back within a second of Collier. As right on board.
And Roberts is trying, he's kept it on this gap here. As that time, he's 2/10 slower than Rob Collier. And like I keep saying, he's really good in that second sector. He seems to really gain his time back up through here in the sectors, but on the straights, he just cannot hang with Collier, and Collier just pulls him. And since that's kind of a major passing zone, just can't make it work. Well, he's getting an okay run here. If he can just keep it good through the hairpin, he could have an opportunity to attack Collier here. It's going to be in DRS range. The 7/10 is a big axe to try to close up, to try to make a move going into the right before the World Champions. Yeah, and he's actually losing time down the long straight.
Yeah, Collier's got a less downforce on that car than Roberts does. Roberts went for a more stable car, and it shows. But that's what Roberts has been doing to stay in the points fight. Everyone going for the ragged edge, and Roberts is like, yeah, no, not doing that. Driving to what's comfortable, and it's worked so far with him really, really well. It does make you worry about the likes of Kruger and Pressy. When they zone out, sometimes lapses in focus happen. And, you know, you think about Ayrton Senna, Monaco 1988. A simple lapse of concentration can take you straight out of this race.
Honestly, I think Kruger just set another session best lap there. So she's not losing any concentration right now, at the very least. She's flying in that 70. And Roberts pretty close here. Got down to 4/10, but just did
Roberts
not get a good
more
effect.
confident on the braking as well. I noticed that going through the chicane that time around.
Guys, we'll cut on board with the driver PO. Well, not, I guess, camera facing the driver camera shot.
There you go.
Yeah, there we go.
Oh!
Big smack of the wall to McCollar. Yes. Hits the wall there. That's going to allow Robert to sneak on by. Question is, how bad did Collier hit that wall? And if that's that machine, it's damaged, but how damaged?
Wow.
Yeah. Just lost concentration there for just a second, made a mistake. And that's going to cost Collier at least a spot, maybe more if that machine is really hurt. We'll see if he elects a pit here in that machine, as he is coming in. So he hit it hard enough. Yeah, he hit it hard enough that either the game wants him to come in, or
he just needs to feel comfortable staying out.
Yeah, that too.
Oh, that was Nathan Line that just had a bit of an incident in the wall of champions.
I think he said on not comms, he said on radio broad, I think he was trying to let a situation go there.
Yeah, he was trying to let Kruger go because Kruger was coming up on him and almost been both cars.
Meanwhile, we do have a fight with Crouch and Colliers. Colliers got it out of the pit lane. He's only half a second behind Crouch. So when those tires... It's also worth noting Kruger doesn't have any damage from that incident, so at the very least, Kruger's thanking her lucky stars that nothing happened there. That could have easily took her out.
Yeah. Nick Pressy, 35 seconds behind. It's Emma's to lose, but as we saw before, it's not cut and dry. Easily can be lost.
Oh yeah, it happened to Derek Miller earlier this race. Meanwhile, Collier all over the back of Donnie Crouch here for fifth position here, as Collier, after making his pit stop, is using those fresh tires to his advantage over Donnie Crouch's used mediums. Ooh, lock up there by Donnie Crouch.
This is Crouch in his battle with Rob Collier. They're both a lap down now.
But they are fighting for his position.
Yep, battling for P5. Collier just coming out of pit lane, moved to the hard compound tire.
Collier going for that undercut, possibly jump Roberts and maybe Sears. Because his pit stop only cost him 5 seconds with the damage he had, so it was a very minor enough hit that at the end of the day didn't hurt him enough that it's going to take all the speed out of that machine. As Emma Kruger sets another fastest section lap of the race, and here comes Collier on the inside. Not going to be able to keep the car close enough, though, and it's going to have to suck behind here. But we've seen him move. We saw a move where Roberts has avoided the mistake and got around Collier that caused Collier to pit, but it looks like Crouch holds station. But where's Collier going to make that move? Because of his hard tires, it's going to be a little hard to get it done on the straights. But he could make, because I think he's got a car that's a little bit more tuned to the straights. He may be able to get it done if he gets a good enough run. Here comes Collier down the inside, going to try to outbrake the number 11 machine here, going into the hairpin.
Gonna try to over under him. It's not gonna happen. And this is where it gets frustrating because Crouch's medium tires are still good, and Collier's on fresh hard compound tires, which are even slower than mediums. So it's
Collier didn't have much of a Collier didn't have much of a choice though, because if he went and stops, you have to pit again. So it's either go hards or medium softs. You have to pit one more time. Kruger says another fast lap of the race. 1:12.233 for her.
He is cracked right now. Line comes in. He's eventually had to blink. You wondered when the fairy tale for Field Up Motorsports was going to end. Today was that day, unfortunately, for Field Up Motorsports. A 19-point gap, so not all is lost. But a definite hit, and it's going to shake up the championships even more now.
Considering the top 6 are all different teams, at the very least, Collier just mowed down the grass there, really bungled up that corner. It's going to cost him well over 2 seconds.
Trying really hard to make something happen, and almost had his day end early. That would have been traumatic, to say the least.
But to finish my point, the only positive they can at least hold on their hat is that, at the very least, like I said, there's no double car teams up there in the top 5. So
really, top 8.
Yeah, or top 8.
You have to look at Miller, because Miller's in 8th, and him and Collier 6th and 8th. So really, top 7, all different teams. You have Gear Cats, MPM, Arrowhead, 1MA. You have actually no, Arrowhead, 3rd and 5th. So yeah.
So that's the one thing, is like they're not maximizing their points, so they can just hold on in that regard. Line just let Sears by for, well, he's a lap down, but just help Sears out there. Presti sets his personal best on a used set of softs, a 113.543.
Fuel load's getting a lot lighter now. We have passed the halfway point in this Grand Prix. We're looking at Donnie Crouch, 5th fastest. He's gotten an instant 4.5 second gap over Rob Collier. This Brendan Roberts in 4th place. It's another race of attrition. It was a race of attrition last night in the Super Sprint Series at Le Mans. 16 cars started. 8 cars saw the finish of that race. We're in the exact same boat now. Does that speak bad omens for tomorrow night at Rothkogen?
You never know. But
I hope not.
I mean, I got no dog in that fight, so it does not care if it's bad or good.
I am in that fight. I am. Ugh. Yeah, here's your race leader. We'll see if we can go aboard with her, because she is running insane laps right now. It is wild to watch her run laps. A little bit latency there.
She's really had still some issues of blinking, so
But she's been fortunate that there's less cars on track to deal with.
That, and also that one bad blink could lag her out if she's not careful. So she's not out of the woods yet. She just sets another purple sector. She could break into the 111s.
I don't think she'll ever be out of the woods. But being honest, until this race is over, I don't think she's ever going to be out of it. She could easily have some sort of issue happen that takes her out of this race. That is out of her control. And Nathan Lyons had an issue, and he is in the wall.
Yep, and that's going to cost him a spot to Miller, as Miller's now up to 7th, so...
Here's what happened. He had already lost a spot to Miller.
Yeah, it was half a second gap, though, and then, yeah, looped it.
Yep.
It's going to put Nexus Sim Racing 6th and 7th, respectively.
The Nathan Lyons still rolling. And McCruger still leading this race by a whopping 44 seconds. Tom Sears, 13 seconds behind Pressy at the moment. And
I don't think it's out of the realm to say that she just says now she's broken to the 111s. But I don't think it's out of the realm to assume that she could possibly catch Bren Roberts before pit stops happen.
Potentially. Diesel in the Twitch chat. Good lord, she is gone. Yeah, she is. That gap continues to expand. She's finding pace where nobody else is at the moment. It's funny because, like she said before the race, she didn't feel like she should be racing tonight. Not feeling well. But putting her head down and focusing super hard right now.
You could have fooled me telling me she was under the weather, because I wouldn't believe that how fast she's flying.
Some people are like that. Like, you think about Michael Jordan's flu game. Like, some people perform better in those situations. They perform better under higher stress, higher, duress. Like, sometimes that is a thing that happens. For a period of time, I was one of those people that was kind of like that. Like, I wouldn't perform well unless there was a lot of pressure.
Kruger's really starting to just blink at that whole sector there. So,
yeah, it is a genuine concern that she could blink out of this race. She could have latency issues and fall out of the race. Like, that is a genuine concern. We've seen it before from her. You think about the Brickyard Grand Prix in the season in Champ Car.
And there's nothing she could do about it. She can't reset a route or anything right now, because that would take her out of the session completely. So she's just got to hang on for the remaining 31 laps.
Cross your fingers, hope, do what you got to do to try to seal off these remaining 30 laps.
Again, she wants to go as fast as she can to try to get this race done as quick as she can.
Yeah, only way to do that is just keep running laps. To answer some people in the Twitch chat, sure she's not in the W13. The W13 is slower, but it is what the series is moving to for the 2023 season. So everyone gets to learn a brand new car. Isn't that lovely?
Yeah.
W13 has less downforce than the W12. W12 has a lot of downforce. The W12 generates about 6,000 pounds of downforce. The W13 produces about 2/3 of that. Sears sitting in third place. He's doing everything he needs to. There's Emma Kruger, though, just entering the final chicane. It's so anxiety-ridden watching her take that final chicane.
Oh, and she just had another purple sector. I mean, purple lap. One's 11.703.
Yeah, it is insanity right now what she is on.
Yeah, she actually just put Brendan Roberts' lap down. Now is getting the other Nexus sim racing machine to put another lap down. And then Tom Sears is next up the road, and then it's Nicholas
Roberts
Pressy.
is fun. Brendan Roberts has had issues.
Didn't hit anything though.
Nope, there he says something. Oh, he has got some significant damage in that car.
Donnie Crouch still got some time to catch, but that thing is clearly very wounded. Yep, there goes by Donnie Crouch. There goes Rob Collier.
Oh, it's on that left. It's on the right side.
Oh, yeah, it is.
You see right there, you see...
Looks like it's... Yeah, that's not even turning. I think that's going to be race done.
It is race done.
Yep, he just towed. So that's night done for Bren Roberts in the 84. So that's going to give us 7 cars left in this race. It's also going to bump everyone up a spot. So Crouch is going to be 4th, Collier is going to be 5th, Derek Miller going to be 6th eventually, and Nathan Lyon will be 7th eventually.
So we'll see what happened to Bren Roberts here. This is Bren Roberts and how his day ended up coming to an end.
Oh, ooh, yep.
Yeah, there's no way that's fixing itself.
Nope. It looks similar to what happened to Collier, except he then ping-ponged off it and then sent himself the other direction. As you watch again, he just gets too hard, hits it, and then it spins.
And it hits the back for good measure, too.
Mm-hmm. And then, yeah. Definitely destroyed the rear train there. Yeah, there's more Blink and Remember Kruger. Should be worth noting, next car she's going to catch is Tom Sears, and then it's going to be Nicholas Pressy.
Yep. There's Nick Pressy right now, sitting in the 2nd spot.
53 now, 54 seconds back of Emma Kruger.
Now this is where it gets fun, because Emma could have the largest gap in a race. Like, she could set that record, but she will not be the first driver to lap the entire field before the finish. Or to win by a lap.
That would be James Pierce, if my memory serves me correct.
It is
it's not. I thought it was James Pierce.
Last week at Dover.
Dover. I thought I read something about that on ABN when last week I was like, I thought, yeah, James Pierce didn't get the job done. It's been close, though.
No, not even. His closest would have been Mid-Ohio, but there's still 5 on the lead lap.
I was thinking Roval.
There was 14 lead lap there.
Well, that was also 7 months ago. I know he won it. Oh, because he had that fuel. He had a pit late or saving fuel, so.
Also, Champ Car is just naturally more competitive.
Yeah.
This is just more intense. The lapse of concentration can be so severe.
And again, top 4 have not made their only pit stop, mandatory pit stop of the race. So they're all gonna have to pit.
At some point, everyone has to pit. Pressy on the soft compound tire as well. At some point, those softs are gonna fall off a cliff.
It's worth noting, Derek Miller pitted for a set of softs on lap 5, and he's taken them 5 less laps than Pressy did. So softs can go pretty far.
Yeah.
as Kruger just got around Tom Sears.
Sears didn't make it difficult.
Nope. Because Sears knows he's got well over 40 seconds of Donnie Crouch. So, no reason to loop it or spin it and call yourself a podium.
Watching Presley, that's Nathan Lyon behind him. He's gotten around.
Nathan Lyon 4 laps down, currently in 7th position. 52 seconds.
Everyone running, still out on track.
It's listen to the radio chatter a little bit here. Even Tom Sears is wondering what's Kruger's got under the tank there, showing how fast she's flying.
Yeah, she is 2 seconds clear of everybody else. It is actually more than that. She's almost 3 seconds clear of everybody else. Just per lap.
Every time I see her blink out on the timing and scoring, it's always a bit like a hold your breath moment. Because you never know if she's coming back.
Yeah, it's mortifying. It is genuinely mortifying sometimes when you're in that situation, because it's very reminiscent of you can have the best race of your life and still finish second. That is the most horrifying thing on the planet sometimes. Like at this point, I'm afraid to even get the Belgian national anthem ready to go to play for the driver the post race, because like I don't know. You just don't know.
I mean, any other night, I'd feel confident putting money on her winning this race, but you just, with her connection right now, you just don't know if that's going to hold. Because she's blinking out 2 to 3 times a lap. Meanwhile, she's about 8 seconds back to catching Pressy and putting him a lap down. That time by Pressy did a 1:13.818. Kruger did another personal best, a 1:11.645.
Sometimes life just isn't fair.
No, it's not.
Sometimes life just is not fair.
Kruger's just showing she has the pace, she just had the consistency issues. Oh, a slight mistake there by Kruger. Just a small one. I guess the other question is when she takes her pit stop, she's obviously going for a set of softs, so she's going to go fast slap chasing. But my question is, can anyone even catch her personal best?
That's so scary the way she hops those curbs. It's not comfy.
One bad bounce, and that's floor damage.
Not even floor damage. Like I'm just waiting for it to take the wheel out of her hands and just throw it into the wall. It's so mortifying. Why did I hear boss music?
Yeah.
Why did I hear boss music? Yeah, when we talk about most dominant performance, this is going to be up there on that list.
Oh, yeah.
Sheer domination, top to bottom. Sector 1 was fastest, Sector 2 was fastest. They crossed the line for Sector 3. What is it going to be? It's going to be another personal best, isn't it?
Nope. But close. 1:11.650. 2 seconds clear of Pressy as Derek Miller takes a pit stop here.
Holy cow. This is magic, is what it is.
It's watching a masterclass. And it's also worth noting, remember, Kruger also made 2 mistakes in trying to pass Pressy both times, and yet is still one of, like, if she didn't make the mistake, she'd be farther up than she currently is.
If she didn't make the mistake at the starting grid, she'd be fine.
Yeah.
Her main weakness now is just the initial starts.
Mm-hmm. Oh, Backen got a little kicked out there, but seems okay.
Being a little bit flashy.
Drifted through a few couple corners.
No big deal, right?
Practice your inner tofu driver. Tofu delivery driver. First time in about 5 to 6 laps, she's done clocked in a 1:12.
And that's after setting another race best, Sector 2.
Mm-hmm.
She's insane.
Yeah.
Like, we are watching her come up onto the back of Nick Pressy here. Pressy is just a corner ahead.
Yeah. I remember about 20, 30 laps ago, maybe 40, Pressy was ahead of Kruger by a good couple seconds. Worth noting, Donnie Crouch, one of the first top cars in the top 5, going to blink first here in pit.
There's Crouch in pit lane.
Mm-hmm. Got 2 laps clear of Miller, so no threat of losing a spot. Probably going to go on a set of softs as he's currently on a set of mediums. And that's what he'll do. Again, just to show you how big the gap is, Pressy just exited Sector 1 now, and now did Kruger.
Yeah, she can see it.
That's about, yeah, it's 2 seconds.
Another off track there for Kruger. That's something that's important to note. Like, she is the fastest so far, but she also has the most off tracks.
Yeah. She's not careful, she'd get a drive through, but again, she's got such a big gap that off track wouldn't affect her that much, but if she keeps racking them up, then she could get disqualified. Oh, she just made a mistake there. Gonna have to take the escape road.
Now it's starting to get to her a little bit.
It's kind of a double-edged sword. She wants probably to lap the whole field for the pride of it, but at the same time, you don't want to throw it away, the win, for a task, a goal that doesn't get you any extra points.
That was wild.
It's also where like Presti's made those softs go pretty long here. 55 laps and counting. Or 54, I should say. Gap is beginning to grow a little bit between Kruger and Presti.
Yep.
Just a little bit.
Kruger's laps and the concentration there, while minor, did give Presti some reprieve.
Mm-hmm. Oh, she's around!
Oh, yeah.
Oh, she's almost around!
Oh, and she's still trying to save it.
Oh, she's she's going for it. Like you can't falter. She's foot to the floor all 100% of the race. She's not going to phone it in. And how bad those tires are going to be now after that spin she just did. Well, half spin. She definitely flat spot at least a little bit of them.
Does she come down pit lane?
Feels that would be a smart choice.
Nope. She didn't.
What's worth noting is Presti just asked on radio comms what's the minimum laps you got to do on a set of compound tires. So it makes me wonder, he thinks he can get those softs to go probably the whole race if he wanted to, but obviously you have to make a mandatory pit stop.
Minimum lap distance is 5.
Yeah, they just let him know that, but just worth noting he's questioning it, which makes kind of shows the fall off the tires is not that bad.
And we mentioned that when we talked about the weather pre-race. The track temp is as friendly as it's ever going to be on these tires. Like, if there was a race where that was going to happen, this was it. It only gets worse from here. We're going to Spain next week, and then we're off for Christmas, and then we stay in Europe for most of the winter part of the season, so a lot of the races will be warmer, bar Silverstone after New Year. Mandicore will be a little bit warmer. Okay, if we look real quick. So we have Barcelona next week. Then we're off for Christmas and New Year's. We come back January 4th for Silverstone. Then it's Mandicore, Hockenheim, Red Bull Ring, Imola, Hungaroring, then Spa, Monza, Suzuka. But now we're getting into March and April, and then Long Beach and Interlagos end up the season. So, yeah, this is about just the perfect scenario for this happening for her. Oh, watch out!
Oh, she made another mistake and hit the wall.
Contact.
She hit the wall.
Oh,
Look
dear.
Look up for half a second. Luckily, she's got.
You and I
well
were both
over
looking at our timing monitors, and we looked up just as I looked up just as I saw her like ramp it up a little bit, and still not coming into pit lane. Although there is visible damage on the front wing of that car.
I feel like at this point you have to pit. You can't risk. I know you can make it to the end, just pit and fix it up, because she has to make a pit stop regardless.
She's playing a game with fire that I don't think you want to play.
No, you do not want to play this. She's already 2 mistakes already. One more, and it may be curtains. Again, every cat's got 9 lives. Every gear cat does it too. Hope she doesn't run out of them before this race ends. Because that thing's not going to be as planted as she likes.
Not in the front end, at least. She needs to be careful.
Mm-hmm. Again, top three have not made their mandatory pit stops yet, so they're all going to have to pit. There's a chance Collier could catch Sears before the end of this thing.
Yeah.
So Sears is not home free on the podium just yet.
Here's Tom Sears, still sitting firmly in third place by about 33 seconds. Has not made a pit stop. There's his pit stop right there.
Here he goes. Don't want to speed. It's an easy pit lane to speed, and if you're not careful.
Yep, it is.
The only question is, can Collier jump?
These blinks are getting longer and longer.
Mm-hmm. I've noticed it, but I don't want to say anything. You can almost pull out a stopwatch and count them. Tom Sears comes out 10 seconds clear of Rob Collier, so he should be okay. Because you now have the fresh tires. Worth noting that even with the slight damage, he's still about 3 seconds clear of Pressy time-wise.
Yeah, Press on the. He's on extremely old softs at this point.
Mm-hmm.
Pressy knows that if he pits first, it's over. He can't get his lap back. He's trying to force her to spend a lap on cold tires first.
Yeah.
That's exactly what's going on.
Only time I've ever, in my racing and sim racing and commentary and racing career, the only time I've seen a driver lap the field once is Mr. Christian Gomez lapped the field all the way back in 2013 in the league. So shout out to him if he is watching.
Two-time race starter in the Champ Car World Series.
Mm-hmm. Did it at Monaco, no less. Oh, that lap was only a second faster for Kruger over Pressy.
Mm-hmm. Pressy's finding time.
Pressy just got the tire warning, according to him. We're within 10 laps.
They've got to be careful because they've got to complete 5 full laps on a set of tires.
Yep.
The rulebook's very clear. It's 5 full laps. And there's quite a few pit boxes that are ahead of the start-finish line here at Montreal. Mm-hmm. They've got to be really careful about that.
And they all know the rules, so they're not going to try to stretch it.
Oh, they're going to try to stretch it. They just need to make sure that they don't stretch too far and end up getting disqualified, because that's what's going to happen.
Mm-hmm. Or on the same point, if they make a mistake and have to re-pit, it resets the clock. Again, just keep an eye on the gap. Only way Presley can win this race is if Kruger makes a mistake.
Yep.
It's also worth noting as well because Kruger has some slight damage, so even if Pressy does pit first, Kruger's going to be held for some damage time.
Yep, at least 5 seconds for the front wing replacement.
Yeah. So Pressy could just come in and eat it and be okay.
I don't think he knows it though.
No, probably doesn't because he wasn't close enough. That's where it's important to have teammates and others in your ear to tell you, but...
Sassek's already gone.
Yeah. Pressy just set a fast lap of the race, personal best, 112.622. Still not close to Kruger, though, as Kruger did a 112.288. And it's worth noting, like I said, lap 65 is the max lap you can pit on to get to the end. We're on 64. So they're going to have to pit for Presley coming in this time by. Which means that Kruger's either going to have to pit this lap or next lap.
Yeah.
And if she doesn't, then she's disqualified.
Well, seeing as how her teammate's literally still there, able to kind of give her directions, I'm assuming that that's not going to happen.
Considering they also brought up you have to do 5 laps minimum on a set of tires, she has to know. It was brought up in even the radio chatter during the race.
Yeah, they both come at the same time.
Yep. So crisis averted. No disqualifications here today for pit infractions.
So Crouch going to his laps back.
Mm-hmm.
Round and away he goes.
He'll now be 1 down. And there goes Pressy right out of his box. In and out.
And Kruger did have to hold a little bit.
Yep, 9.4 for her, 4.1 for Pressy. 5 seconds.
Yep, pit wing, front wing change.
Yeah, she didn't even... I guess she didn't know that, or she just found out now. Mandatory repair. I guess the last question is, can she on her fresh tires hunt down the 94? She is on a fresh set of softs, while Press is on a fresh set of mediums. So in theory, Kruger is on the faster tire.
Yeah. She should,
Which
but
is
again, she lost 5 seconds on the track.
Mm-hmm. And she was about 3 back. So she's probably 8 back right now on Pressy, 5 laps remaining. She'd have to gain about a second and a half a lap.
And then hope that Pressy doesn't like try to defend to stay on the lead lap. But she's allowed to do.
Mm-hmm. But at the same time, if she makes one mistake, it could be curtains as well. So it's risky. There's pride in lapping the field, but is it worth throwing away a race for? I mean, if you're Tom Sears, you're hoping that happens. Contact between the both of them, but
that was a close shave with the wall there at turn 4. She is pushing way too hard.
Mm-hmm.
She needs to calm down.
Again, this is where teammates or spotters or whatever should be in your ear telling you this. Don't go aggressive. It's not worth it. The virtual winner's purse pays out the same regardless of if you finish first lap in the whole field or first without lap in the whole field. Come up the lap 67.
Why am I more nervous now than what I was before the race?
I'm not nervous. It's just watching. It's watching a person basically paint a painting. It's like watching an episode of Joy Painting.
Nathan Lyon back on pit lane.
You should still get points, even if it is race done.
He, to my understanding, made it under his own power.
Yeah, I didn't see him tow.
Yeah, there he is, going back on track. So
Pressy is coming up on lap traffic here.
but that means so will
Car-
Kruger.
Yeah. I think they just got around line.
Yep.
And then Donnie Crouch. And that's where the buckles stop. Yep. Ooh, big lock up there by Kruger. She's pushing. Tom Sears just had a blink, but he seems okay.
Trouble for Nathan Lyon. He tagged the wall at champions again.
He's just trying to bring it home.
3 laps to go.
This positive for Lyon. He can't fall any farther down.
Yeah. Guaranteed points.
Oh, Kruger's there. She's caught the 94. That's a second. How aggressive will she press? Oh, big. She was late on those brakes there. Later than Pressy was. There they go by Donnie Crouch.
Pressy is defending.
Ooh, Tom Sears is out of this race.
Oh.
That's going to give the podium spot to Rob Collier.
Wow. Sears did do enough to score points.
Ooh, Kruger just had to yield time, so she's
Yep.
going to fall back behind. Actually, no, Tom Sears is back. It was a lag out situation. He's back.
That was terrifying. There he is.
Yep, he's back. That was a long DC for a minute there, but got fixed.
We're out losing a spot too. So
I think Kruger kind of admitted last lap that was her last best chance to lap in the field. She'll have one lap to do it. She's got no traffic.
she's coming to the white flag this time.
Mm-hmm. Two to go for the 94 machine, but white flag in the air for Emma Kruger. Not gonna try to say anything to jinx her here. Just gonna let her do her last lap here in relative peace.
Oh, Pressy made a mistake.
Oh, Pressy made a slight mistake. That's gonna allow Kruger to sneak on by.
Yep. Pressy himself was the one that let it happen.
As Sears had another little slight desync there.
Oh, another issue for Tom Sears.
Yeah.
Calling
He
it
just
right
got
now.
back.
Yeah, he's hoping this race ends soon. For Emma Kruger, it's about to end.
Got one more quarter to go.
Going through the last chicane. Emma Kruger is now a world championship race winner. She wins in Montreal.
Actually brings home a second. A good performance, bounce back race from him after Indy. Good points for him. He had 5 coming in tonight. He'll have another 18 on that total. Line just crossed the line. He'll finish his race. Donnie Crouch across the line in 5th position. And Tom Sears got one more corner to go for him. And he will lock up the last step of the podium. So back-to-back, not back-to-back podiums, but 2 podiums for Tom Sears in the number 14 machine. But Emma Kruger, great race by her. She should be proud of that performance. Jack going crazy for Kruger. So yeah, do not go anywhere. We do have the top 3 podium celebration, national anthem of the winning nation and constructor, and the top 3 interviews coming up shortly, so do not go anywhere. Top 3 pulls up right here.
Podium as we get ready, everything ready to go here. Give us just a second here. Give everyone a chance to regroup here as we get ready to go. Alrighty. Alrighty. Now it's time for the winning driver's national anthem, Emma Kruger from Belgium. That was the national anthem of Belgium for Emma Kruger, the 4th Grand Prix race winner of the season. She'll be joined by Nick Pressey and Tom Sears on the podium here in Montreal. And now it's time for podium interviews for our podium finishers. Get everyone on board here.
Hello?
Podium finishers, welcome to the interview room. Emma, one of the most thorough races here. We'll start with you first, Emma. First of all, how did you make those mediums last as long? We'll talk about to Nick in just a second because you both went the same distance. But at that race, you made it look like clockwork. How?
I have no idea how those tires lasted the 65 laps or whatever it was, but that's not something I had projected when we did it in practice. I was like, okay, I'm probably gonna have to pit it around like lap 30 going to the hards, because historically my tire wear throughout the entire season has been pretty bad. But yeah, I don't know. As soon as we got to the target lap, I was like, okay, these tires feel amazing. I'm still setting purple laps. Let's keep going. And then it was just a bunch of that until I got to lap 50, and I'm like, let's just do the Albon strat. So yeah, it worked out.
It worked out phenomenally. Nick, obviously second place. You did the same thing on the soft compound tires. What was it that you... Because both of you did the thing that no one else did. How were you able to make it last so long? Tom was close to it as well. But, like, what made the tires last so much longer than anticipated tonight?
Well, we're not sure, to be honest. The tire wear just didn't come. Our projections said that 30 laps on soft was going to be a big ask. But then all of a sudden you're like, lap 25, but the tires are still okay. Okay, lap 40. Okay, you probably should have pitted by now. Did we not get that tire warning? Are we about to blow? Lap 50. Why are you running 112s?
Yeah.
You know, like, I'm on a low few. I spent most of this race inside my own head about the tires and all the chaos, because after the start, there was a lot of chaos, and then there was a lot of nothing around me. And I'm not sure which was less comfortable, but I think the tires holding up the way they did, being as consistent as they were, was probably something good to ground on.
Tom, obviously P3 for you. Obviously, it was a very nerve-wracking couple laps there at the end, trying to make sure that you didn't lose connection there. But another podium. I guess it's been an up and down season. Either it's been great or you've been lacking pace. Like, there's been a little bit of inconsistency, but finding the podium here to make up for everything that happened at Indianapolis a week ago. How does this feel? Once again, another 15 points to go towards the leaderboard here. How are you feeling now going, knowing that you got Barcelona next week and then you've got an off week for Christmas? How do you feel knowing that the first part of the season's almost over?
Flash there at the end? Was I flashing? Is that what happened?
Oh yeah,
No
you were gone for
kidding.
like a minute.
I was gone for a minute? Oh my god. So I got lucky then. Wow, I didn't know that. It said I was back in third, and I was like, what? So that was confusing. But yeah, it was really good. Most importantly, my teammate Donnie Crouch, he came in fifth, so we both got a top 5, which, you know, we spend all the time in the chat together and trying to figure this thing out, you know what I mean? And so that feels really, really good that Donnie got in the top 5. He's the one getting the setups for both of us, so really cool. Yeah, I got another podium, but it was the same deal as the other one I got, where a lot of people had issues and I just didn't have issues and just stuck around without, you know, not every lap has to be the fastest lap in the history of the world. That's kind of how I take these F1 cars, and it helps me survive a little bit, save the first race of the season. But it's really cool. And then Emma was just unbelievable, so fast, so consistent, really, really fast out there. I think she lap Nick.
Yeah, at the
lapped
very
the
end.
whole field. Yeah.
Oh man. So yeah, she lapped all of us, and Nick obviously he ran a really good clean race too. So hats off.
Obviously, all three of you, like, it's an insane. It was a very surreal race from the start. Emma, we'll kind of revisit the start here because you had starts have been, I think, your biggest detriment so far this season. How do you plan? I mean, obviously we got Spain next week, but then we have a week off. How do you have to adjust how you start these races? Because we've seen that it's caused problems before, and you got lucky tonight because you let all the trouble happen in front of you, and then you kind of just weaved your way through it. But how do you rectify that?
Yeah.
Because it's two poles in a row that you've dropped on the opening lap. How do you possibly fix that going into Barcelona or going into Silverstone in 3 weeks?
Yeah, I'll just keep working on consistently getting better at those. I don't know, it wasn't really a problem for me in Champ Car except for Suzuka, but disregard. And it wasn't a problem at Phillip Island or Fuji, but as soon as I get on pole, it's just, I don't know. But yeah, I'll keep working on it. I'm not trying to kill an entire field, so yeah.
Obviously, so we'll start here. We'll start with Tom here. Obviously, podium finishes here. It's a big night. We'll go over the points here in a little bit. But a big night in the championships. Everything's shaken up now with how this race played out. But for all three of you, well fought, well-deserved podiums here. You outlasted, you survived, and now we get to go to Barcelona next week. We'll start with Tom. We'll work our way up the podium. If there's anyone you want to shout out and say thank you to, obviously, Tom, you already said I gave a shout out to Danny Crouch, but if there's anyone else you want to say thank you to, the floor is yours, Tom.
Yeah, obviously Downey, like I said, a great teammate. You, Carmen, for having me on the team there with Donnie and having me in here. Really appreciate it. 213simware.com. I can't really represent them on these cars because they don't allow us to have creative freedom on these cars, unfortunately. That's none of our rules. It's just the way it is. And yeah, just really happy with the sim racing and my whole life right now. I'm very, very chipper. So thanks a lot.
Nick, obviously your turn. Obviously your team also another podium for the team, but it's not the way it could have been with Eli out of the race. But does anyone need to shout out and say thank you to Nick? The floor is yours as well.
Well, I'd like to take this moment to thank everyone that has ever been a member of this team. On Monday, our team turned 5 years old, and with a performance like this, I think that's a good sign of things to come. So I'm very satisfied with. I'm very happy with everyone that has ever been on this team, as it has a legacy of fighting to exist, and I think we are finally strong enough where we can move past that. Like thank my friends, my family, my mom. She cares about these races a lot. Her health's not great, but she still cares a lot about them. Field Motorsports, even though, like Tom said, they can't physically appear on the car, I am grateful for their ability to have sponsored us this year. I'm hoping for a renewal from them the next season. Thank you guys for a good broadcast. And is that the sun setting? Okay, and that's it.
And Emma, obviously the floor is yours. Obviously, your teammate Lily Pelletier Sharp unable to finish this race, but definitely did a good job coaching it there to the end of the race. But if there's anyone you want to shout out and say thank you to, congratulations on becoming a World Championship race winner.
It feels so great to hear you say that. Yeah, shout out to Lily. It's a shame that she got taken out, unfortunately. I think could have had a double podium, maybe even a 1-2 today. But it is what it is. Shout out Open Medicine Foundation, as always. As well as to Carmen and everyone at ABN for putting these races on, letting me compete. But yeah, I don't really have much more to say other than that. Thanks to all my friends who come out to the streams and support me as well.
Well, all three of you, congrats again on your podiums here. Barcelona next week. We'll let you all relax and get ready for that. But all three of you, congratulations. Enjoy it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Alrighty. That was our podium interviews here tonight. Emma Kruger, the race winner. Nick Pressey in second. Tom Sears in third here at Montreal. Here's the results as they sit from the Canadian Grand Prix. Emma Kruger, by a solid lap, wins in Montreal, the Circuit Gilles Villeneuve. Nick Pressey in second place. Tom Sears sits third. Rob Collier brought it home fourth place. Solid points for Nexus Sim Racing as they came home fourth and sixth with Derek Miller. Donnie Crouch gave Arrowhead Racing another double points finish here. Fifth place for him in between the two Nexus Sim Racing cars. Nathan Line on debut for the World Championship for Field Up Motorsports. Does what he needs to do. Scores 6 points in seventh place. Bren Roberts, eighth place. We saw him wreck out earlier. It's just accumulation of troubles for him, and it doesn't get better the further down you go. Jason Blaney in ninth place. Jacob Blankenship 10th. Willie Pelletier Sharp 11th place outside the points. Robin Summer in 12th place. That's going to be an interesting conversation to see how that all went. Eli Sasek 13th. We heard from Christina Ryan early in this race after her retirement on lap 1. James Pierce and Judith Cooper did not take the start of the Canadian Grand Prix. Now, looking at the points as they stand. I'm going to pull everything up here. There we go. Here's the point standings now. Emma Kruger does take the championship lead by 3 points. Every bonus point counted. She had pole position bonus points in the fastest lap, and at the end of the day, it counted. 48 points for her, 45 for Jason Blaney, Derek Miller for 43, Eli Sasek 40, Brent Roberts top 5 still, Tom Sears in 6th, Christina Ryan dropped down to 7th place. Then it's Wesley Jeanette, Rob Collier, Nick Pressey, top 10 in the point standings. Jacob Blankenship, Donnie Crouch, top 12. Then it's Tommy Reynolds, Olivia Hayward, Robin Summer, Nathan Line jumps his way up to the board. Then it's Jeremy Breo and Alyssa Pelletier Sharp rounding out those that have scored points. James Pierce, Judith Cooper, after 2 races apiece, have yet to score a point in the World Championship. But that is how everything looks. Tomorrow night, it's Champ Car preseason action from Norway, the Rudskogen Motor Center. We hope to see you all then. Christina Ryan and Strix 9 Pulsatrix on the call for that race. Action begins about 8:15 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Saturday night, SCRL Truck Series action, the finale, where we crown a new champion at Homestead, 8 p.m. Saturday night. And then Monday, big old Monday the 19th, qualifying for the HTL Daytona 300 takes place the 19th, beginning at 8 p.m. Qualifying and the HTL duels. You're not going to want to miss that one. But on behalf of everyone here at ABN, on behalf of everyone for that Formula Championship, the ABN World Championships, all of its teams and drivers, thank you everyone for tuning in so much. We appreciate you. We hope to see you at some point later this week as well. But until then, on behalf of Kevin Young, I'm Carmen Hardy. Until then, stay safe, stay healthy, have fun, enjoy the rest of your week. We'll see you next time.